Hey y'all, I'm Mandy, and this is Mandy in the Making. Welcome back to another What's for Dinner. Before we get started, I wanted to let you know that today's video is a very special What's for Dinner because I'm collabing with two of my friends here on YouTube. I've met up with both of these ladies in real life. I love them and I know you'll love them too if you aren't already watching them. They are Jessica O'Donoghue and Amber from Housewife Glam Life. So once you're done watching my What's for Dinner, make sure you go into the description box and click on their videos to go watch them. I know you'll want to subscribe to them if you aren't already. Now let's get started. For the first meal this week, we are having Italian sausage and orzo soup. As always, I will have all of the recipes we use this week in the description box. I found this one on Pinterest and it really caught my eye because it's like a 20-minute meal. So if you're in a hurry, this is something that's really hearty and yummy and really fast. There's not much chopping that's involved in this one. I'm just gonna dice up this onion and then chop up that garlic, and then we're done. We're ready to go to the Dutch oven. Okay, so I've got this large Dutch oven on medium heat. It's good and warm. I'm gonna add some extra virgin olive oil and add in our onions and our garlic. Now that my onions have softened a little bit, I'm gonna add in a pound of Italian sausage. Now that our Italian sausage is browned up and is cooked through, I'm going to add in 4 cups of chicken broth. I'm also going to add in this 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. And I'm going to bring this up to a boil. Now that that's come to a boil, I'm going to add in 1 cup of orzo pasta. I'm also going to add in my seasonings. I've got 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, 2 teaspoons of dried basil, 1 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and some salt and pepper. I'm going to stir it to combine. I'm going to turn it to medium-low and put the lid on this and let it cook for 10 to 12 minutes just until the pasta is just done. Okay, our orzo pasta should be done. It's been about 12 minutes. Now I'm just going to add in some baby spinach. And we're going to let that cook down or wilt down for about 2 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the heat. We're going to add in a cup of grated Parmesan cheese. And about 1/4 cup of half and half. It's done, let's eat.
Looks really good. I love how creamy it looks. That tastes really good. I can already tell. Wow. There is so much flavor because of the sausage. I mean, you've got all this, the herbs and the spices in there. The red pepper flake, of course, gives it the little kick that you want. And that is really good.
I had made these biscuits earlier today. This is my Nana's recipe for biscuits. Fun fact, I've never shared that recipe on my channel. I should do that sometime, but she never measured anything out, but me and my mom kind of measured as she went one day when she was making it, and we tweaked it until we got it right. So my Nana passed away in 2002, but every now and then I make her biscuits.
So many of my favorite ingredients in here, the spinach and all of the garlic. We don't have the Orzo pasta that much, but this is really good.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever made Orzo pasta, or if I have, it's been a very long time. So this is a winner.
Oh yeah, this is really good. You've got to try it.
I think it's a good option for the fall and winter.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Hey y'all, tonight we're trying a new recipe we're really excited about. It's called beer, bacon, and cheese sloppy joes. I've got this large skillet heated to medium-high heat. I am going to brown up or cook up all of this bacon. It's about a pound of bacon. Now that I've drained the bacon, I've kept about 2 tablespoons of the bacon fat in there, and I've got this onion that's been diced, and we're just going to get it soft. Now that our onions are soft, I'm going to add in 1.5 pounds of lean ground beef. We're going to cook this up, but you don't want to crumble it too fine. You want it to have a little bit of substance to it so that it won't be too messy on your buns. Now that our ground beef is cooked up, we're going to add in 1/2 cup of ketchup, 1/4 cup of tomato paste, 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1/2 cup of beef broth, and we've got 1 cup of beer. This is Guinness. So I'm just stirring this to combine it, and I'm gonna get it to come up to a slow simmer. I'm gonna let it kind of evaporate and reduce down until it's the consistency that we want. Obviously we want the alcohol to cook out. So that's gonna take between 5 and 10 minutes. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. So it's taking a little bit longer than we had hoped. And I think there was just a little bit too much beer that the recipe called for. If I were to make this again, I would probably just do like 1/2 cup, maybe up to 3/4 of a cup of beer, but it's getting there. This is the consistency we want. So now we're gonna add in our bacon and our cheese. We're just going to stir this in and let the cheese just start to melt, and then we're going to put it on the buns.
Time to get messy. Man.
It looks so good.
You just gotta get in here.
Yep.
It ain't time to be dainty.
Cole is in love over there. I wish I could show him on camera, y'all. Y'all should see the faces he's been making.
Wow. This is amazing. All that cheese that's just puddled up in there, and all of the flavors of the seasonings and everything. But then the mass of bacon in this thing. Mm-hmm. That is delicious.
Gracie knows there's cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Gracie, you want some cheese? Grace.
Well, I've never had sloppy joes quite like this, and I mean, sloppy joes are supposed to be sloppy, but the cheese certainly holds this together really well.
Yeah.
And I like how it's not as broken up in little pieces. So that was a really nice touch.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Regular sloppy joes, the Pioneer Woman way, or these sloppy joes?
Wow.
Cole says these. Are they just completely different?
Well, regular sloppy joe is like just a hamburger meat with the sloppy joe mix.
Well, that's out the door.
Yeah, I might as well just.
Well, yeah, that's how I made it for you.
Pioneer Woman. Yeah, Pioneer Woman is like a whole separate.
Right.
I mean, it's still. I like that just because there's so much to it.
Right.
The Pioneer Woman. There's a lot of other things. I mean, you could definitely add peppers and stuff in here too, and it would be just fine. But this, I mean, I just think there's just more flavor here. There's just more goodness coming out of this thing.
All right.
But I don't know. It's hard to say. It's probably because I'm just hungry right now.
Well, I'm gonna let you eat, babe.
It's the last meal of the week, which means it's Subby Supper night. If you're new here, Subby Supper is just where my subscribers send in their favorite recipes, and I choose one each week, tell a little bit about that subscriber, and then we share the recipe and we do our taste test. If you haven't sent in your recipe yet and you would like to, be sure to email me at mandyinthemaking2018@gmail.com. Tonight's recipe is Enchiladas Verde. I'm very excited to give this a try. It sounds so good, and it comes from Jonathan and Katie. Jonathan and Katie have been married for over 11 years, and during this last year of their marriage, they have really been on a quest to find great, wholesome meals that they can cook together every single night. They said watching What's for Dinner videos really helps keep them inspired, and this has really helped them grow closer together. Thank y'all so much for sharing this recipe. We can't wait to give it a try. We're gonna start with the sauce. In order to do that, I've got the oven preheated to 425, and I've got these tomatillos here. I'm gonna take the husks off of them, and I'm gonna place them whole onto a baking sheet that I've lined with aluminum foil. So I've got our tomatillos over here. I'm gonna peel these garlic cloves. I haven't used this little device in a very long time, but it works well. It peels your garlic for you. The last thing that's gonna go into the sauce that needs to be roasted are these jalapenos. I'm just going to get the ribs and the seeds out of them and place them on the baking sheet. I'm just going to drizzle everything with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, and then I'm going to put some salt on here as well, and these are going to go into the oven for about 30 minutes. And about halfway through, I'm going to turn them just so that they don't get really scorched. It's been about 15 minutes, so I'm just going to turn all of these. It smells so good already. Okay, they're going back in for 15 more minutes. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. These are super tender. Everything is gonna go into the blender, including the juices on this pan. And we're gonna blend it until it's smooth. That didn't take long at all. I'm gonna add in some cilantro. It calls for about a half a cup of cilantro, 1 cup of chicken broth, a half a cup of sour cream, and just a little bit of salt. got about a pound of shredded chicken. I just went the easy route this week and got a rotisserie chicken and just shredded it. I'm gonna add in just a little bit of cheese as well. Also gonna add in about 2 cups of this sauce. Okay, I'm gonna fill a tortilla with this filling, roll it up and put it in this 9x13 dish. I'm going to take the rest of this sauce and pour it over top of these. And it called for Monterey Jack cheese, but I chose to get the hot jalapeno and habanero jack cheese from Walmart. I'm just going to top this, and then it's going to go in the oven. I reduced the heat of the oven from 425 down to 400, and it's going to go in for 15 minutes, and then it's going to be time to eat.
Salsa Verde is one of my favorites. Cannot wait to try this. Wow, that is good. Oh man. That is really good. Love the spiciness with the jalapeno in there. And then the flavor of the salsa verde. I love the tomatillos. I love how flavorful they are. They're so rich.
He really does love tomatillos. He's made us some homemade salsa verde before. It's been a long time since you've made that. You need to make that for us again sometime.
The sauce is amazing. It is so rich and creamy because of the sour cream.
So thank you, Jonathan and Katie, for sending this in. We now see why you make this for, they said they make this for like people who've just had a baby, or anytime they need to bring food to someone, they opt to bring this just because it's so tasty and everyone loves it.
Wow.
You see why.
That's it for this week. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you're new to my channel, I hope you will consider subscribing before you leave. And don't forget to go watch Jessica and Amber's video. I've got them linked below. Bye, y'all.